Some problems are going to ask you to simplify by combining like terms. So we first have to understand what are like terms. So an example of a like terms would be has to have the same variable so then these would be like terms. I could have 3x, 5x, negative 7x. Those are all like terms. And then in that same case, ones that would not be like terms would be 8y and 3x would not be like terms because they have different variables. Another example of something that are like terms have to have the same exponent. So if I have 2x squared, 5x squared, those are like terms, and it still has to have the same variable. So we still have to follow this rule. If we're going to follow this rule, it has to have both. So an example of not like terms, I cannot have a 2x with a 3x squared would not be like terms because one has an x, one has an x squared, so those are not like terms. And then what we can do if numbers are like terms is we can add and or subtract them depending on the problem. Before we do that, I also want to mention it can be a constant. Constants are like terms also. And a constant is a number by itself. So like 7, 5, 3, those are all like terms also. So if we look at some examples then, what if I have this problem? I've got 8x minus 3y plus 2x plus 1. So if I'm looking across this, the only like terms I'm seeing are the 8x with the positive 2x. Notice I took that positive sign, the plus sign, so whatever is in front of your term is connected to it. So that positive sign goes with the 2. So I have a positive 8x, and I got a positive 2x. Well, together that makes 10x. But the rest of these terms, that negative or minus 3y and the plus 1, are not like terms, so I actually can't change those, so I'm just going to drop those down. Minus 3y plus 1. If I can't combine them with anything, they stay the same. So another example, let's say we've got negative 2y plus 5x plus 3 minus 2x minus 4y. So I see a couple different like terms here. So let's start with, I have a negative 2y, and I see another y down here, a negative 4y, because again, that minus sign has to be attached to that term. And a negative 2 combined with a negative 4 is a negative 6, because we're really taking negative 2 and I'm adding negative 4, and we get negative 6. So that takes care of the y terms. I have some more like terms. I see a positive 5x and a negative 2x. So I can put those together and combine those or add those together. Positive 5 plus a negative 2 would be positive 3x. Notice that because it was a positive, I put a plus sign for positive. And then the only thing I have left is this plus 3, and it doesn't have a like term, so it's going to just drop straight down and stay as it is. Oops, and I forgot something here. Here, negative 2y, negative 4y, that should have been negative 6y. You've got to make sure we don't forget those variables like I did there. And then again, one has a y, an x, and a constant, so these are not like terms, so this would be my answer. There's nothing else I can do there. If in some cases you get a problem maybe like 6x minus 8y plus 2, and it says simplify. Well, there is nothing I can simplify. There are no like terms. So then you can just say, well, this is already simplified. And that might happen sometimes. And if you don't know that term simplify means put it together to make it look simpler. Like this one here looks a lot simpler than this original one we had there. We combined anything we could and made it simpler, simplified form. Easier to read and understand.